Good morning, pregame crew. How are y'all? Everything good? It is Wednesday, September 28, 2022, 6:21 a.m. Mountain Time, 8:21 a.m. Eastern. I'm Charkow Lori. You're at the pregame show. I'm going to get started officially in 8 minutes, and we'll go over the indices, commodities, crypto, movers, and shakers of the day. I'm going to say hello to my friends between now and then and do a few chart requests and do an audio visual check. And if you came for the British accent, it was a bait and switch. I baited you with this British accent that I can't do to save my life, and I'm switching back to country. Louisiana accent is what you're getting. Just kidding. I used to sound a lot more country. Thank goodness my accent has evolved a little bit. But good morning, my friends. Thank you, Night Truck. Good morning, Greg. NT Man, Allnick, Ram, Andre, Roger, Eli, Andre, Ken, Matthew, Mal, Paul. Matthew, Apple's always the canary. It's funny that you asked that. I have a visual for that, I think. I have a decent visual for that. Hey, Jason, Casey, ER, Cyber, Night Truck. I see what you did right there, ER. Good morning, Lori and TCGers. You're just talking to the inside crew. We have some non-TCGers in here, but you could become a TCGer if you want to check out the chart guys. If you're saying, what is TCG? This is who we are, the chart guys. That's Dan, Charting Man Dan, and Jason, Charting Man Jason. They are chart guy Jason. They are the founders. That's me, Lamont, the Dens, the Funk, Joey. That's who we are. And we teach technical analysis so people can hopefully lead a better life. And what I do here every morning is I go over those key indices, Bank of England happenings that happened overnight, and try to get you ready for the trading day. So now that the bait and switch is over, let me do a few chart requests. Hi, intuitive guy in Italy. Got a lot of Italians up in here, or people who live in Italy, I should say, not necessarily Italians. All right, Labu. Ken, I will look at Labu on a very, very low time frame. So for those that don't know, LABU, that's a 3 times ETF. 3 times ETF, and it's a derivative of XBI, but it has decay. So its chart is not going to look like XBI. So it's difficult. I always chart XBI and I trade LABU if I'm looking long. XBI has a lot. Oh, thanks, Jason, for posting that. I had a live trade during our midday live stream in our room yesterday with a ES trade. It was fun. Okay, wait, where do I have biotech? Right here. So Dan posted this morning, XBI relative strength very clear this morning as most things are set up for a small gap down, and XBI is trying for a small gap up because of Alzheimer's treatment. And then I saw this little pre-market snippet. ABOS is up 76%, BIIB is up 45%. That's funny. I saw some major calls come in on that Monday. NNOX is up 22%. OCGN is up 9%. So when these small to mid cap biotechs have positive news, it tends to bounce XBI, and XBI can kind of separate from the market, if you will, and do its own thing. And that's what we see happening today. So XBI, we're inside yesterday's range. Yesterday was a daily inside bar, and we're breaking above that daily inside bar. Now, it could still be a bear flag. Well, let's look at that measure. As long as we stay below 80.26, a bear flag is in play. Just something to keep in the back of your mind. But if you are already in along on LABU, congrats to you. You're set up very well this morning. And I would use, let me go back to my hourly. Your next support is really down at 76.19. So in a daily downtrend, first hourly overbought, we're approaching that. So just be careful. But if those names keep running today, it can keep XBI propped up for the most part. So key resistance, $80, the high of after hours, then above that, 82.79. I need another support that I can give you. Okay, let's go with this one, 78.41, the low of pre-market, or the last 15-minute higher low, I should say. And on LABU, I disregard these wicks. That happens at broker open. You have a support here at 675, and then you're looking down at 633, and your resistance, I would use 703 as your next resistance. and then above that 720. But again, I don't like using LABU to chart. It has built-in decay. Hey Bennett, how are you? Basque, Whitney, Intuitive Guy, Andre, Rob. Good morning. Yeah, hit that like button. Ah, I see what you did. I'll delete that. Just so, oh, it doesn't help. Thought it would remove your name. And you know who I'm talking about. Hey, Abraham, Carlos, Paul, Slow Devil. Slow Devil, my thoughts are with you and all the Floridians that are getting impacted with the hurricane. And Daniel, good morning. You've got a great sense of humor. G, Intuitive, Fernando, Craig, Trayman, Dan, Chris, Adam. I think I'm caught up on the hellos. No, Ken, you're the best. Hey, John, Danny, John. Let me go back. What's the next chart request? We have 3 minutes till we get started with indices. Tilray from Matthew. Holding up pretty well. Not bad. Not bad. Still a potential daily bear flag. We have a daily inside bar from yesterday. Resistance 288, support 272. 4-hour tightening range, hourly tightening range. So I would say key resistance 283 and then 288, support 272, and then 269 was that key level from the day before. We're just getting tighter here. I cannot with good conscience tell you this is a bull trade down here when we have a daily bear flag. We're not oversold on the daily. We're not oversold on the 4-hour or the hourly or the weekly. We're not oversold on any time frame, and yet we have bear downtrends in so many different names. So, but you never know where it's going to bounce. If you want to bottom fish, I would stay as close to 272 as you can and stop out if it's lost. If you're going to top fish, I would use 288 as that level. And Dan has been picking on CGC, I believe, in Tilray for the names to go to for shorts, and it makes sense because of their relative weakness. Good day, good day. Let me go back. Yep, I think Apple's the canary today. Apple had iPhone news saying that they have decreased production because the demand was not what they anticipated. So Apple could bring us down. I actually have a little visual for that. Visual aid. Look at this little seesaw. This is Apple. It's going to take Goldman Sachs. Just think of all of this. This is, pretend like there's 50 people over here on the right side. Goldman Sachs, JPN, WFC, all the different financial names. It's going to take consumer staples. It's going to take healthcare, Johnson & Johnson, Cigna, Humana, and just go through the motions. It's going to take NVIDIA, the semiconductors, and XLK, the other names. Microsoft will have to pitch in, Amazon, consumer discretionary, communications. In order to lift Apple up off the mat, it's going to take a lot of these different names and sectors to pitch in. So yes, Apple's a canary because of its market cap. Market cap is currently $2.4 trillion. So last time I did the measurement, Apple's market cap is equal to all of the names that are inside IWM and all of their collective market caps. Apple is equal to almost every name in IWM. If you just, for a reference point, if you want to know what type of general it is. So yes, canary. I have time. Well, actually, it's time to roll. Good morning. How are you? This is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori. At Chart Gal Lori, if you want to give me a follow on Twitter. I'm part of the Chart Guys community, and we teach technical analysis. And welcome to the pregame show. What I do here every morning is I touch on the dollar, US 10-year, international markets, indices, commodities, crypto, movers and shakers of the day. All of these names I won't be going over. I use this name as my personal watch list for the rest of the day. So the names I regularly monitor for myself and the chat room I keep below. And I have notes over here on the other side of the screen that I copy and paste for TCGers. I put it in the room so they can slice and dice it as they see fit when I'm done talking. If you're interested in my chart setup, you can click on the link below in the video description to receive a PDF explanation as to what all these colors are. And on our YouTube channel, there's a video that Joey made for how to set up your chart like Dan or Lori. And finally, one thing I don't say enough, I know your chart requests are very, 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 very important to you. If they are very, 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 very important to you, you can go join chartguys.com and you'll get your chart request answered at least 3 times a day. We have a live stream where I say, hey, ER, how are you doing? Okay, I'll take a look at ADA for you. And I give you my technical analysis. And at any point during the day, you can post in a chat room and say, I need help. You could go to marijuana channel or general chat. Hey, I need help. You just type it out. I need help with BIIB. Can you please give me TA? Whatever. And we help you. And so I'm telling you all this, I guess, to assuage my own guilt, because I feel guilty here every morning, is because I want to answer all of your chart requests and I just don't have the time to do it. So hopefully you can still learn TA from a chart you're not interested in, because it's all applicable to all charts. And that way you can also get some independence as well and say, I don't need her to look at my stupid chart. I just need to learn technical analysis, and then I can look at my own stupid chart myself. I'm not saying your chart's stupid. All right. That was a big old introduction, but I think I need to stop once a week and do that. The market's still popping. So what happened this morning? Bank of England, they're stepping in and buying the gilt. And from what I understand, not GUILT. I wish I could sell that to them. I have a lot of that. But they're stepping in and buying bonds. And they're buying their own treasuries, and that's impacting the dollar. So 15-minute, we're in a broadening formation here on the dollar. So the announcement, you'll be able to see where they announced it back here. This is when they announced it around 4 a.m. Eastern. I believe that news came in. And then to the downside on the dollar, weakening the dollar. And it's essentially to strengthen the British pound and shore up their economy. It's some of the interventions that are available and accommodations to their equivalent of their Fed. So we don't have to be economists, thank God, in order to understand all of this. We just need to know that it can impact our market. It is impacting our market. It's impacting our currency. Bringing the dollar down has then popped up our equity market. So on the dollar, don't get it twisted. We have a clear 30-minute, 15-minute broadening formation. Was there anything wrong with this chart? Nope. So bulls who have missed this huge run up are still looking for dip buy opportunities. As long as this quick EMA is underneath price, bulls are large and in charge. They're having to fight off some bears right here. They're in a temporary skerfuffle, but long term, they're fine, and they're winning the war. They're having a little 15-minute little battle one-off, but they're winning the war, dollar bulls. Yes. ES is benefiting from the dollar taking a little breather, and we have had these magnets drive me bananas. And again, it's such a short drive, it's not even funny. That is not where I want. I had it drawn earlier. This isn't it. You get the picture. And forget about all patterns. I tell y'all all the time, don't get caught up on patterns. Let's go over price action. We had lower high, lower low, higher high, and it's just where we break resistance, no follow through, break support, no follow through. And that's how we build a megaphone, and it's causing exhaustion on either side of the tape. And then you've got to figure out who's getting worn down the most. And I would say at this point, bears are getting worn down the most and bulls are winning this war to the upside. We're up here testing 2665. Something happened last night with all of this stuff. This level, let me go get my price label. We hit 3613 overnight. 3639 was our June low. We broke it. So we broke that key level on ES. Nasdaq, 11068, we held it. We held the June low on Nasdaq. ES, no follow through for you, ES, if Nasdaq doesn't break its low as well. RTY, holding 1640. YM broke bear last Friday. So YM's definitely the weakest. Then ES, then RTY, and then Nasdaq. So if Nasdaq is holding up the best, then Apple needs to come through for us today or for the market bulls and get a bounce going off of this bad news. And I have some targets and all that stuff. Let me go back to ES real quick. If you're a swing report subscriber, thank you for subscribing. You heard my diatribe this morning about how I'm eyeing 3,400, 339, 750, the pre-COVID high as our target to the downside to potentially put in a low. Now, is that tradable information? No, none whatsoever. It's just a target I'm keeping in mind. I would assume 3,400 could serve as support if we were to get down there that low. My first target was this 200 MA. The 200 MA is at 35.86 for ES. You see that? Look at your major indices, your major players. Find that weekly 200 MA. It has served as support for years and years and years and years, back to 2008, the majority of them. So COVID, we broke low, but look at NQ. NQ didn't. NQ held the weekly 200 MA on Nasdaq, and we haven't broken it since 2008. So we are here at decision time, in my opinion. We broke below it, 11180, but this candle doesn't close until Friday at the close of business, this weekly candle. And we're going to want to hold that weekly 200 MA, even just for a hope of a potential bear flag. So ES 3400 is my target to the downside, and I'm watching this weekly 200 MA on NQ to hold at least temporarily for a potential bounce. And we're going into today daily oversold. We're getting a good bounce going right now on ES, and bears are waiting for reverse back burner trade setups. That's the trade setup for the day, in my opinion. And it may be 30-minute overbought. Let's go look at ES real quick. ER, the swing report, is part of Chart Guys community. So you can go over here and go to your Chart Guys right here. Swing report, click on that and you'll see the trial subscription, or you can do an annual subscription. So that's the swing report. And I'll be honest with you, now is not a good time for this. We're having low membership right now in the swing report, and there's no wonder. We're in a bear market and a lot of people can't short. We're having some killer wins with short names that we're putting out there, but a lot of people, if you're trading your IRA, you can only go long unless it's the indices. You could do an inverse ETF. So it's a tough time to be in the swing game, but we launched a swing report in the middle of COVID and we had awesome success. So I know it's a rough time, but those times where you think it's the worst time to swing is usually the best time. So that was me diverging. Back to hourly overbought. If the market, do you see that little orange triangle right there? That is my alert. Tell me when RSI gets to 68 on ES on an hourly. I will be an eager on the hourly. I will be an eager bear at that point to top fish, because we're looking for lower highs on so many time frames. Okay. When I have my window open, I'm smelling smoke. That's sad. Okay, so we got a bull break here. So 30-minute overbought, I will be an aggressive bear, potentially shorting ES. At the hourly overbought, I will be a more aggressive bear looking, or a little more conservative bear, I should say, looking to top fish ES. So your next resistance on ES is, we have a double top right here at 3674.75 and 3669. So your next resistance 367475. So we've changed the 30-minute trend. We have not changed the hourly trend. Bulls are going to want to see an hourly trend change to feel better that this temporary low has been hit. Nasdaq. All right. Nasdaq, we're breaking above this resistance, 11,311. Your next resistance, 11,39250, and you have, let me get rid of this. This is a mess. And you have support, the low of overnight, 11141. So with the size of this bounce now, you need to triple, double, triple this level, exclamation point. Overnight low becomes super key. That is the level that bulls must hold for today. If bulls are going to put up this much buying power into trying to bounce this market, you better not go back down and take out that low. So if they take out that low, that is a bear Huge bear sign, okay? So the lows of overnight now becomes the level to hold today. RTY, your resistance. Why are you messing up all my lines, bulls? Okay, we broke that 1676, not convincing yet, only by $1.50. 30 minutes giving me a little more clarity. You have support at 1660 and 1647. This tells me that the dollar is still coming down. Yes. So with the indices, the way that I see them bouncing, it tells me the dollar's still coming down. Okay, YM, I didn't do that one yet. YM took out that 29281, 29294. Need more convincing. 30-minute support is 29048. VIX, hourly uptrend. We're testing that support right here, right now at 3291. Your next support would be 3253. Could be a 4-hour bull flag. VIX bulls are A-okay at this point. Look at this slow turn of events on VIX with this rounded bottom. Just bullish. 3505. So we double topped here overnight. Didn't notice that earlier. We double topped here. This becomes the level for the rest of the day. As long as 3505 or 3488 are holding as tops in VIX, that could be good for market bulls. US 10 years taking a breather. The dollar taking a breather helps, and we have a 15-minute downtrend. Larger time frames, these bulls are still okay, but 3.80 is a key 4-hour support approaching on US 10 year. Now, a lot of you are going to see that I search for my names based on this chart. Hang Seng down 3.41%, was down overnight. It closed at that level. So I'm picking on a lot of the Asia market names this morning as my queen of the mountain trades. With the market bouncing like this, it may not work, but I think we should give it the good old college try. Bitcoin, let me get to my notes. Bitcoin monthly bear flag is still in play. So I definitely don't want to lose my place. I don't want to lose my place on the chart if I'm looking at the granular details. You can see all my alerts I have set for overbought. I don't want to lose my overall mindset by looking at the 5-minute, 15-minute and getting, snookered in and saying, oh, look at this beautiful bull bounce. Bitcoin's a beautiful monthly bear flag. You could print this for mom's fridge. It's such a classic bear flag pattern. We're still holding this low, 19107. Actually, we're testing it. 17567. No, we're not. Sorry. Go back to that, Lori. What are you looking at? The low, 18. I was looking at the current price. 18153 is the low, and 17567 is the June low, which we're still holding. So the monthly bear flag is not confirmed, but it's on the table. And overly eager bears, or conservative bears, I should say, are just waiting for overbought conditions to short again. With this monthly bear flag still on the table, overbought conditions to short or your friend. Right now, I'd be looking for 30-minute. We've already had our 5-minute reverse back burner trades. We've already had our 15-minute opportunity on indices and major coins. Now we flip to the 30-minute overbought, looking for a potential short. Ethereum, same thing. Get your head on straight. We have a potential monthly bear flag. Overbought conditions are going to be for shorting. If we could get to hourly overbought again, I think it could be a great opportunity to short. Right now, I would just wait for 30-minute as the first opportunity to short. But I'll be watching the dollar and indices very closely. This bounce is really getting going now, and we're making space for higher lows. So this could be our bounce day. I didn't mention ES daily oversold, did I? ES daily oversold. We're still oversold with this bounce. So we're getting our oversold bounce going, and we're still looking at the EMAs overhead. The first target is 3750. That's where we would hit that daily 8 EMA. Gold. Hey, Duncan. Thank you for doing that. All right. Gold. Gold's probably getting a nice bounce going. Yeah, really nice bounce going. It's taking advantage of this dollar weakness. 30-minute has the best clarity for me, support 1630. So on every chart, it's the 30-minute because I need to be able to identify that higher low and say, okay, this is the trend to keep going. We definitely want to see an hourly trend change on these charts, but this 30-minute trend change is definitely notable, and the bull volume is picking up. 30-minute overbought. You better bet bears are going to be waiting there. Your next resistance 1650, support 1622. Oil's got some good moves. Moves like Jagger. Potential daily bear flag. Hourly overbought. Bears will be waiting there. We have inventory today at 10:30. No trade for me on oil today. And if we keep the right mindset, we're looking for a monthly higher low. And we may be putting it in right now. I was looking at this morning and I was thinking 72.35. That would be such an ideal place to go long that monthly 200 MA. I don't think that bulls are going to get that opportunity though. So we just broke this 4-hour EQ to the bull side. We need to get over 80.31. So that weekly low is most likely set. Now, where do we set the weekly low or high? Because we know that's the more likely scenario on a bounce. Nat Gas. We're looking for a monthly higher low, and we got daily oversold this morning. It's no longer oversold, but I did a little flip on Nat Gas because daily got oversold in a monthly uptrend. That's a typical place where you look for that potential scout, that potential monthly higher low. We have inventory tomorrow. Nat Gas is one tough trade right now with the Nord Stream pipeline in the Baltic. It's leaking. The guess is that Russia damaged it on purpose somehow. It supplies Nat Gas to Europe, so there's a shortage. So you would think this would pop. Again, fundamentals don't always work. We're looking for hourly lower high on a bounce. Apple. This is where I think I talked to you about how important Apple is. This is where I think I provide the most value for you this morning, or that I can, is if we look, we have weekly inside bars. So last week we had an inside bar. This week we had an inside bar. So that weekly level is 14964. We're below it right now. Let me make sure. 14964. No, wrong one, Lori. 148.56. 148.56 is last week's low. That's the low we need to hold before open. So let me write that down. 1485. Let me write it down. 14856 is the low of last week. Apple bulls need to get up over that level before regular trading hours open. Do you see it here? 14810. We don't want to break that weekly inside bar during regular trading hours. If we can, we've seen Apple do this. We have coached Apple through this move. It's like we're a basketball coach and we're like, okay, Apple, the game's going to start right now in, is that 41 minutes? The game's going to start, Apple, and this is what I need you to do. I need you to go step up and hit that three-pointer before 7:30 a.m. Mountain Time, 9:30 Eastern. We need you to go cross that line of the 148.56. Maybe I should have used football. Here's the yard line. We need you to cross before the buzzer goes off at 9:30 Eastern. So pretty important level. And look where we are. We are at the golden pocket retrace of the June low, right here, 12904, the August high, 17615, and guess where we stopped this morning? You guessed it, at the golden pocket. Now, this is why y'all pay me the big bucks. I'm just kidding. So 14553 is the golden pocket, and we're bouncing nicely considering the bad news. We got some eager beaver bulls down here to buy this dip, down 2.5% this morning. That's a pretty big percentage down for Apple and its market cap. I think bears will still be looking for opportunities to short Apple. Either way, this bounce is beautiful. Even if they hold the inside bar, Apple bounces are still the place to look for shorts today because they have the bear news. I hope that makes sense. So Apple's relatively weak compared to the other high beta names. So if you're looking for a name to short a bounce, it would be Apple, in my opinion. Okay, Amazon. What did I write about Amazon? Potential daily bear flag. I don't know what to do with this, folks. Bounces are going to happen. My approach is still, where do I enter short? Do I think Amazon can go take out 118.32 from way down here? No, I don't think it can. Very tall order. It could do it. Go take out that level to take out the high of yesterday. That is may the odds be forever in your favor, bulls. I'm just going to have to step up here as tribute and short Amazon compared to 118.32 because we have a potential daily bear flag and the odds are not in the bulls favor to take that out. Odds are in my favor to top fish overbought bounces. So that's what I'm looking at on Amazon and Nvidia. I'm looking to short bounces. What are the odds that we take out 12736 versus taking out 12120? So I'm looking for bounces to short. Tesla daily 50 MA overhead, yet production numbers are anticipated, I believe, Friday morning. Please, I put that wrong in my notes. Let me correct my notes. I put this morning. I meant Friday morning. You see, this is how I trade. You see all these alerts popping up. I walk the walk that I talk. I'm looking for those overbought bounces to short. Y'all see this daily 50 MA? Just look at this Michigas overhead. We have the 200, the daily, the 8 and 21 EMAs, all overhead in this beautiful mess of resistance overhead. That's a hard one for bulls to overcome, yet Tesla was one of the few that made an hourly higher low yesterday. So 28754 is your next resistance, and 28867. I think bounces are for shorting, but I just remember that the production numbers are Friday. Maybe someone's trying to buy that up, assuming it's going to be good news because it was pre-leaked that it was supposed to be good. So I just have a conflict of emotions on Tesla of what I should be doing. So I just back away because this daily EMA mess, this is like one of those interstate spaghetti bowls, they call it, like in Atlanta or whatever. This looks like a spaghetti bowl overhead. I can't go long here, but it's been relatively strong, so I can't short it, so I just back away from it. No edge for me. Bye-bye. Hang Seng down 3.41% overnight. Potential hourly bear flag will be looking for reverse back burners to short. Looking for bounces to short on Baba. Looking for bounces to short on Baidu. And PDD, looking for bounces to short on PDD. And PDD I liked a little better. It wasn't oversold on a ton of time frames. Look at this potential daily bear flag. So PDD, of these three Asian names, I like PDD the best for a potential short. And Rivian is, when we look at this, okay, let me go back. We look at this potential daily bear flag. We have the 8 and 21 EMA overhead. We have the 50 MA overhead. This is typical area where I look to short. And you look, 4 hours not oversold. It had a red day yesterday, but hourly is not oversold. I like Rivian for a short, and I may already be in a short on Rivian in pre-market action. I will be wrong and just say, you know what, Lori, you jumped the gun a little too soon over 34.50. 34.50, I'm wrong, and I wait for bears to step in and help me with this trade setup. But I like RIVN short to the short side. Paul, okay. Right here. So in general chat, and remember, I know Slack is not intuitive sometimes when you start it, but all you look at is PM high. That's it, PM high. Right here, pre-market high volume and volatility scans. And if you're Eastern, Paul, it'll be at 7:30, around 7:30 every morning in general chat. PM high volume and volatility scans, Tesla and Apple. So I commented on that. So that's where you find those scans, Paul. And always you can use your search button and just know that I type it out as PM space high every morning. That way you can just kind of, if you can't find it in general chat, you can just hit search. Okay. Yes, Slow Devil, I am all about the hurricane trade. I've traded it for past, I would say 6 years. I've done the hurricane trade. If we could break over 27369, that would be great. The daily chart looks horrific. The weekly chart, we're at support on the weekly 200 MA, and we held the 26451, the weekly support. So yeah, I think it could get going today. Let's look at Generac. Generac doesn't look that great. Lowe's, yep, definitely could be a hurricane trade. And there's a gypsum company. And did they get bought out? There's some type of sheetrock company. And if anybody remembers the name, if you could put that in chat, that used to be a great trade setup. Buying sheetrock companies because they get real busy. If a hurricane causes flooding, all the sheetrock has to be ripped out. So you're welcome, Paul. Hey, Andre, you joined the swing report. As long as you can short, Andre, you should have had some really good names. We find longs as well. This past week we didn't find longs, but we do find the little flowers in the garden. So thank you for joining. And we also provide great guidance, I believe, on the market sector rotation. We look at, I look at the commodities, I look at the indices, and we go over it all. Oh, good, ER. I'm glad it's helped you. All right. It's 6:57. I'm going to wrap it up. I hope you've had a wonderful morning. I hope you have an even better day. Use stop losses. Take care of yourself. Take care of your mental well-being. Don't let this market volatility bleed over into other areas of your life. And if it's stressing you out and causing you emotional health issues, reach out to someone, reach out to a professional, because I know I've had some really dark times in trading. I'm out on the other side. You can come out on the other side. These market conditions are not very conducive for easy trading. So just know that. I was going to go over this image today. I'm going to have to just save that for tomorrow. I'm going to put it on another screen. Maybe I'll remember to go over it tomorrow. And TCGers, I'll have the notes in the room in just a second. All right. Thanks for joining us.